There is that, but that's just the story for my garden. And that's the other thing that makes it difficult because peppers for you. It's a story for your garden, right? It just depends on where you are. So, yeah, Brussels sprouts are the longest season crop by far.
And you don't grow Brussels sprouts in the spring
Can't.
because they're not going to survive when summer starts, right?
Yeah, the heat's too
You don't have
much.
enough cool weather in the spring to be able to manage them, right?
Right.
Yeah. And
So,
I just for the record, I've only ever planted them in the spring. And it may be the vegetable that, and we didn't talk about this in the previous episode, but there may be some impacts that summer is having on those plants and the stress of summer and some of the reasons why I experienced what I experienced. But anywho, um, I do like the no. If I want to grow a damn it, and I'm having trouble, I don't care if it takes 200 days. I'm gonna keep at it,
yeah.
because you have been victorious these last 2 seasons, right?
Yes. Yes.
Two,
And
yeah.
and just so y'all know, um the the Brussels sprouts went through 14 inches of snow, 8-degree temperatures for multiple nights and 3 days below freezing, and there is no damage to them at all.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
all those people that say, "Yeah, whatever, when it's cold," you insert whatever
Yeah,
word
they're
you want.
hardy. Yeah.
And now I'm not going to lie. I was nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. So I was not very comfortable. I did not know what was going to happen, but my son and I took the covers off today, and I was delightfully surprised at it. And when I
Good,
say the
good.
covers were on it, they were open on the ends. So they weren't even fully encapsulated. They were just
Hmm.
so yeah, it's pretty crazy, but 210 days. Now that 210 days works for me in my garden this time of year though.
That's huge, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long time. And so I was going to ask, like, if you planted them in September, what would happen? But I think then you kind of roll back into you're cutting down the number of days, but you're also like that August period gives you the most light they're going to have during their entire growing period,
Yeah.
right? To get them off to a start. Um, I feel like the number of days and then the weather you're having during those days, you could put that across the board for any plant. Like that's what's important, understanding how many days, that it takes to grow and what your weather conditions are during the days you plan on growing them. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I still struggle with the idea of what's optimal for something like Brussels sprouts for me. I feel like spring is more optimal for cabbage for me than fall is. Now, and I've not fully vetted this. I still want to give this a try. Um, I think I did my single transplant for cabbage last year, went in September, and I think it may need to be something like a nice size transplant going in August, which seems crazy because it's so hot in August,
Yeah.
but I feel like that's gonna give me the best. That's still a really short leash. August, September, October. You really may be in an optimal area where it's getting more sun. Anyway, I don't want to game plan that fully out, but these are the considerations because I run out of um, non completely continued freezing temps. My calendar is shorter at the end of the year. I was chatting with another gardener and she's in Florida and she's like, "Is it me or did winter come earlier this year?" And I said, "Well, not necessarily. No, I thought to myself, not necessarily earlier than ever, but definitely earlier." I replied, "Earlier than in previous years." Like we had snow in November here in Chicago, which hasn't been the norm in the past few years. And then we had snow and freezing temps in December. And that's, of course, we're past our average first frost date. Yeah, first frost date. But I've been able to get mild temps in November and December. And that's important to some of these longer season crops that I'm trying to grow that time of year. Right. So that all kind of is tied up into it.
Right.
Um, so yeah.
I want to take a beat and just say that I feel like we talk about this a lot at the end of the season, but in the beginning of this season, I think it's really important. a lot of these long season crops are frost hardy, and they can be planted before your last frost date, and they can be growing after your first frost date. So just keep that in mind as you do this, and you start making your plans, because like cabbage is one that's just like, I'm planting my cabbage out in 10 days. My cabbage will go outside. That's crazy if you think about that. I still have 8 inches of snow on the ground on my garden beds. I still have, it's still in the 20s at night, but that's how it works. So we're going to harden them off, take our time getting them ready, and then bada bing, bada boom, we're going to put them out and then hopefully grow the hell out of them.
But you've gotten 40 and 50-degree highs. So this is the number one question. Is your soil frozen?
No. Yeah, even with snow on it, it's not frozen.
Yeah.
So
yeah, my soil is frozen, and I have a special project that I want to wait until I actually complete before I tell you, and then we could laugh about how ridiculous it is, or we could say that's a damn good idea.
Okay.
So
I love a good laugh.
Yeah. Hey.
No.
Damn good idea.
The other thing is planting into the next season. So these long season crops, they will grow into the next season. So if you have succession plans, if you have succession plans, stuff like that, it could be foiled with that. I have a fail-safe way. You want me to say it? Or you want me to wait? So in my area where I grow, I can grow, if I'm really, really careful, I can grow year round. If I'm really careful. And that means like right now, this time of year, I have to be very selective. I'm still growing right now, but it's just not a lot. But the problem I have is emptying out beds and giving them time to rejuvenate and getting them prepped. So these long season crops come in because I can make that plan and say, hey, you know what? For instance, my Brussels sprout bed, after my Brussels sprouts come out, I'm just going to go back and I'm going to simply plant a cover crop in it for the season and let it go through the spring and maybe even into the summer, and then come into it and then harvest that and then plant for the maybe summer into fall. So, those are the things that I do to, I don't know. This is an opinion time for you, Batavia. Do you think that is me justifying growing that crop, or do you think that it's like a method to kind of work your way around it?